Welcome back to the workshop, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today in the workshop where it's chilly up here in the North Country. So today I'm working on something and I think all my tests are done. I needed to make a very special piece of molding. It's actually baseboard molding. I need to make two of them. And they have to be curved. So there are many ways to bend wood. There's many ways to make curved pieces of wood. You can steam bend. You can get green wood, bend it around a form, and leave it sit for a year. That'll be curved. You can take veneer or thin wood. And as long as it's thin enough to bend around the shape you want and a little bit more, you can then glue them all together and make laminated curved parts. Many ways to make curved parts. For this project, I can't steam bend it. I can't, well, I could take veneers or thin wood and make a mold, but I have to take part of a building and make it part of the mold. So I decided to go with kerf bending, Kerf. What kerf bending is you make a whole bunch of kerf cuts, okay? And those kerf cuts allow you, depending on how thin you leave the front of the wood, allows you to bend the board, okay? Now, there's some math involved and there'll be a quiz at the end of the video. But basically, let's look at it this way. If you want, all right, let me show you on this one first, because this is one of my early pieces. So I used 1/8 of an inch saw blade. And as you can see, I also put painter's tape on here to kind of hold that pine together. And it will bend to the shape that I want it to be. The challenge is, okay, and over in this section, it doesn't have to bend as much, but it does have to bend, so that's why they're further apart. The challenge that I have is the 1/8 inch cut takes away too much wood, okay? So, I was testing out some pieces on my Bridge City Japanese saw blade machine. And as you can see, you get your thin cuts close enough together, it'll bend. Okay, it'll bend just like it was plastic. This is tulip poplar. And then it will bend until the back side, this side here, closes. And once they all close, you can't bend it anymore. So if you fill these slots with glue, and then you bring it back until they're closed and you clamp that, the next day you come back, that'll stay like that, okay? Well, that machine worked really well. My Joint Maker Pro worked really well for this little test piece. It's not going to work on a 6-inch wide piece of baseboard. So, I went and took a saw blade that I would normally use in my handheld Hitachi circular saw, and I put that in the table saw. And I did this one. Okay? Once again, inch spacing and then 1/2 inch spacing. So here again, it'll close until those small sections touch. And it might not even go all the way. I might not even need it to go all the way. Once again, blue tape out here just as an insurance policy against the face splitting. So once I get the finished one in place and I apply some, what I'll probably do is apply some sawdust, sifted fine sawdust and glue into these slots. It'll be like a thin putty. And then when I put it in place, leave it overnight, I should be able to take it out and it will stay. So now for the explanation of the math. And the best way for me to explain it is right here. Let's say you have a certain angle, okay? In my case, it's not a perfect 90 degree. It's actually more of a parabola, okay? But if you had a certain curve that you had to make, it was very specific, 6-inch radius, 5-inch radius, whatever the known radius is, that would be for the inside radius, you would have one measurement, and for the outside radius, you would add the thickness of the wood. In my case, it's 13/16. So, because when you're bending wood, you have what's called a compression side and a tension side. If you were doing steam bending, most likely you would put a steel banding on the outside, once again, as a protection from splitting out like this, and that steel banding would go all the way to the end of the piece, so that when you bent it, you were holding that together in tension. On this side, you're compressing it. So if you ever see a steam bent piece of wood, sometimes the inside here kind of looks crinkly because you're compressing that hot wood fiber, and when you steam bend, you're loosening up the natural lignin or glue that holds the wood fibers together. So the math, very simple. Inside radius, outside radius, thickness. When you know the circumference or the length of the curve, like from here to here, once you know the length of the curve, when you close it, this inside length is going to be smaller than the outside length. All right, so now the math. You take the difference between the inside curve and the outside curve, divide that by the thickness of the blade. I don't care if you're using a Japanese handsaw, a Western back saw, a carpenter's handsaw, an electric handsaw, a table saw. I don't care what the blade is. You deduct the thickness of the blade, all right, divided by the distance. And that'll tell you how many kerfs you need to put in. So, as you see here, these kerfs will close up that section when I put it in place. These will not close. They will just allow me to bend it in place. Okay, they will not close, even with this thin saw blade mark. I could possibly go down to a Japanese handsaw on this, but it's not necessary because you'll never see this. So as a piece of baseboard molding, what you'll see is this top edge. It'll be curved in place, and then that'll get filled. Now, in my instance, it's going to get painted. So it'll get filled, sanded, filled, and then primed and painted. You'll never know. If it were natural wood, you would try to get a matching filler. Sometimes even just the sawdust and glue would be enough. So there you go. If you need to make an arch or curved piece, you can just cut away enough wood to bend it. And you want to try and make sure that the back corner touches. All right, in my instance, we're going to be close. I don't know how close, but we're going to be close. Some people will use a gap filling glue. Gorilla Glue is actually a pretty good gap filler, but strength-wise, it doesn't have any strength in this situation because you're going end grain to end grain to end grain. In this instance, I might be better off with construction adhesive, but I don't have any construction adhesive. I have carpenter's glue and I have sawdust. And so that's what I'm going to use. And since this is going to be a piece of baseboard molding, and this is just a test sample, this is the actual board that's going to get curved. That's cut to length. And I have another, where is it? I have another pattern here. Where did I put it? This one. Okay, so this one, you can see this one's long. Now on one end, it's a square end. On the other end, there's an angle because it goes into a corner. And so I know this piece fits perfectly. The only difference between this piece and the finished piece is I'm going to reduce these cuts down with the thinner blade. And so I'll get the same bend, but I'll have a tighter fit in the back. So that's my pattern. And this is the finished width. I got to make two of these, a left and a right. And as luck would have it, they are extremely close. So once I make the left and I know it fit perfect and I do the glue and it dried, I can just flip it over and take it to the other side of the room and see how it fits. And if no changes have to be made, I'll use the same pattern. So off we go. When I turn off the video here, I'll be making the cuts. So say a little prayer for me. I hope you found something useful in this video. If you did, give it the old thumbs up. We need thumbs up. We need a lot of thumbs up. And share the video with any of your woodworking friends. Or you know what? Share it with all your friends, your family, your neighbors, everybody around. I need views, okay? Then when you're all done watching this video, go back. Find one of my hand planing videos, my hand plane repair, my blade sharpening videos. I've got hundreds of them up there. Play them. I need views. YouTube has me throttled. I have not been able to monetize my videos for 2 years. I haven't gotten a penny from YouTube. So help. May you have a blessed day and go out in your shop. Make some shavings. Walter out.